Yo, what up, my people? Yes, sir. I am back in the building. Good afternoon, man. Salute to everybody on this Tuesday, man. It's Taco Tuesday. Hope everybody's had a great Tuesday so far, even though the day's not over. It's coming to an end though shortly. Hope everybody got to where they were going safe. I mean, hope y'all sitting back somewhere, maybe having you a sip, and you're just enjoying the rest of your night, trying to be safe. We back with some boxing talk. Um, it's funny because usually when I'm having boxing conversations, I'm very picky sometimes about what I talk about and who I talk about, but that's just me. But this seems to be a little interesting what we're about to get into that other people have gotten to already, but I like to put my own twist on things. I don't follow what everybody do. Um, but yeah, Earl Spence, maybe possibility of Tszyu getting it on. Um, I was thinking of other names. Tszyu was somebody who didn't come to mind. But we're gonna get into it, man. This might be a little interesting. There's a couple of other candidates we could think of, but this Tszyu might not be bad. So let's get into it. All right. So for my newcomers, my regulars, everyone, welcome to the No Doug Zone podcast. Let's go. Please, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. To share doesn't cost. To subscribe doesn't cost. When you see a cash app up, a lot of y'all get nervous. I don't know why. That's just to donate to the channel. Nobody's begging. Nobody's doing any of that. That's just to support the channel and to give you guys whatever it is that you need. So doesn't cost anything. Um, all right, let's get into it. Errol Spence, I guess possibly is thinking about making a comeback. Or should I say returning to the ring, or however you want to call it. I'm gonna give you my honest opinion because a lot of people blow shit out of proportion. People like to drag stuff. People like to say anything that think they're just gonna get them views and clicks, and that shit is boring to me. I like to talk about shit and be real with it as if I'm talking to the person in front of their face. We have seen a lot of guys make comebacks, and we've seen it over the years, but this year we have seen it. We've seen Pacquiao come back. We've seen Thurman come back. We've seen Jared Hurd come back. We've seen Jason Rosario come back. Um, we've seen so many of these guys come back, even if it's for one fight and they leave. We've seen Danny Garcia come back, right? And who he's actually making his return for what we know, October 18th. So we see a lot of these guys come back to boxing and these guys get into one fight where they looked real bad in it, and the first thing we say is they don't need to come back because of what they went through the last time. If that's the case, we watch God rest his soul. We watch Arturo Gotti go through a lot of shit, and there was times guys said, Gotti shouldn't even be fighting anymore, but he would keep coming back and keep coming back until he had nothing left in him. We've seen a lot of fighters go through that in his time. There's a busload of fighters we can name. And sometimes I don't agree with some of these guys coming back. That's just for my purpose, my reasons. Smash that like button, y'all. Welcome. Welcome. Good afternoon, everybody. And we have a right to voice our opinions about how we feel about fighters coming back, right? Because that's why we're content creators. This is why we're on here. We have a right to voice our opinions, even though some are not opinions. Some, to me, are criticism, but that's just how I feel. We haven't seen Earl since July 29th of 2023. Fine. Why didn't we see him again last year? Or why is he coming back now? Sometimes, these guys put in their all in the sport and they need time to sit back, some time to relax with their family. And not only that, mentally, you have to deal with so much criticism that the fans you had or you thought they were your fans, they start criticizing you. making fun of you. You know, your kids got to go to school and be teased. Um, you have to be in the store or something and somebody says something slick to you, or it's a whole lot of crap to deal with. And sometimes you just want to sit back and take time with the family. Now, all those guys I just named to y'all, they all have made comebacks. Um, and even if it was for one fight and we didn't hear from him anymore, cool. You came back for one fight, you got one good payday, and you're gone. Do we think that Errol Spence should come back? It's not up to y'all. It's not up to me. It's up to him. And if he wants to come back and we see Pacquiao come back, and we can't say Earl don't need to come back and then Pacquiao, it's okay for Pacquiao to come back, but not Earl, when last time I checked, Pacquiao took a badass whipping from Ugas. But y'all tend to forget that, right? And he's much younger than Pacquiao. So which means he probably can get us another 2 or 3 fights if he wants to. I can't see Pacquiao doing that. That's just my opinion. Now the question becomes, should Earl have a tune-up fight? Tay, I see you. Should Earl have should Earl have a tune-up fight? And he says he doesn't do tune-ups. Well, we could say what we think we should take or what he can't take, but let me tell you something. Every tune-up is not a tune-up, because you don't know what type of style a guy is going to bring to the ring. So just because you get somebody who's light, that doesn't mean the fight is going to be easy. Some people have something to prove. Hey, if I could be a guy that can get in with Errol Spence and I could be the second guy to say I beat him, that would be great. If I could get in with Earl and say I was the second guy to beat him, that would be great. If I can get in the ring and say I'm the guy who beat Keith Thurman, that would be great. Even though we might look at it like, okay, well, what brownie points are you getting for beating these dudes? It gives people a different opportunity. It puts them in a different space, different bracket, where they can feed their families better today than what they did yesterday. A lot of y'all don't understand the business of boxing. You assume you do and don't know shit. Tszyu and Earl Spence, I wouldn't mind. I would not mind. Tszyu had never came across my mind. I had people like Brian Mendoza across my mind. I had Lubin, but I believe Lubin has a date coming up with Virgil Ortiz. I think they're trying to finalize that. There were some other people at 54. I thought about Charlo, thought about Thurman, but it didn't happen before, so I'm like, it ain't gonna happen now. And you know, when I go through these different names at 54, and I'm thinking, yeah, because one thing about Tszyu, he's going to bring it. He's going to bring it. A lot of y'all are going to judge him off that second Fedor fight, knock it off as if he wasn't getting the best of Fedor in the first one. And we're not going to act like he didn't just come off a devastating, like he didn't just get stopped. What was that, a fight or two ago? So if if Tszyu, yeah, I'm sorry, y'all, a lot of y'all dipping out, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Y'all thought y'all was gonna come over here and hit Tank all day in boots. That's what y'all thought? Bye. Bye. Told y'all I'm not here for y'all comfortability. I'm gonna say what I need to say, and that's gonna be the end of that. I believe Tszyu is a perfect opponent for him. I can't say if the style is tailor-made. Some people, you know, some of y'all do a good job on breaking down if a fighter is tailor-made for another fighter. I'm not really good at that because I don't focus on that. I just focus on, hey, this is going to be a great fight. But my problem is this. Errol Spence took a lot more abuse than what Tszyu took. Bruce Gas, what's going on? How well will he take a Tszyu's punch? Or any fighter after, any fighter, you know, in that manner. But how well would he take a Tszyu punch? Because, you know, we don't, you know, these guys can look good in camp. They can look good in sparring while they're training and all that. But when it's time to get back in there, and I believe this is the longest time that Errol Spence has had off. For what I remember watching Errol for the longest. And I think sometimes, you know, when it comes to boxing, we focus on the wrong things. If Errol decides to come back and I don't want no tune-up, I don't want some guy at 54 that nobody's ever heard of, because let me tell you something, even if there's a guy at 54 we never heard of, that doesn't mean Errol is going to beat him. Just because you never heard of him, that doesn't mean Errol's going to beat him. This might be a guy that might be able to say, I'm the second guy who beat Errol Spence. But y'all don't take the time to think of that. I told you, some of these guys that's ranked number 15 and number 25 could beat your favorite fighter. So just because you're not familiar with the face doesn't mean that the fighter doesn't belong in that place. If they were there, they're there for a reason. If they got picked to fight a Keith Thurman, to fight a Errol, to fight a Fedora, to fight a Virgil Ortiz or a Lubin, and just because we're not familiar with them, we criticize them. Now, I know there's a lot of times we see fighters, we go, who the hell is that? Who the hell is this dude? You're doing it with Boots. Who the hell is this dude that Boots is fighting? But we don't know what this dude might do. This dude might give Boots a run for his money. I don't know. We have to wait to find out. I have no issue. Smash my like button, y'all. I don't have an issue with him coming back and saying, I don't want to tune up. I don't have an issue with him saying, I want to tune up. Because I don't care about either war. I'm just interested in seeing him back in the ring. Oh, you did it with Wilder. There's a lot of these guys y'all do it with. And it's sad because some of y'all look like some of these same fighters that y'all going up against. And it's pathetic. Kind of makes me sick. Some of y'all ask a little more from these fighters as if these fighters owe you something. Just because you paid for a pay-per-view, just because you bet on them, just because you sit home every day talking about them, that doesn't mean you're going to get what you want. I have no problem with brother Errol Spence coming back. If Tszyu is the opponent, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. If it's an opponent that we never heard of, I'm still fine with it. Exactly, John. He's going to get hate either way. Because if he goes in there against Tszyu, and let's say if he was to stop Tszyu, let's say if he was to knock Tszyu out, well, I bet you he can't do that to Crawford. I bet you he can't do it to Fedora. These dudes in these YouTube streets be like a little bunch of girls. They start gossiping. Oh, I bet you he can't do it to this guy, that guy. Hey, I bet you he can't go up to 168 like Crawford can. This is what these idiots do, man. This is why I don't listen to y'all. This is why I'm not fans of y'all, man. This is why certain channels I don't really bother to go to. Sometimes I just come through and say what's up and get out of there because I listen to some of y'all and it's pathetic. Crazy work, John. I enjoy boxing way different from the rest of y'all in America because y'all look at every little thing to pick on for a fight either not to happen or for a fighter not to come back. Y'all look for any reason for a fighter not to come back. Well, I don't think they should come back because such and such. And it's like, okay, you could voice that opinion, but hey, who's going to tell a fighter that they can't come back? Even when their doctors are telling them, I don't think you should go back and fight, man. It could be risky. You could get permanent brain damage. You can lose your vision. Your body could shut down on you. Evander Holyfield should have retired from boxing a long time ago. And when he was going to the doctor and he had all these issues, he was still fighting. Still went out there, I think, what, in the second or third fight and fought Riddick Bowe anyway? Like, what are we talking about, y'all? Some of y'all got to think about the shit y'all say before y'all say it. Social media got y'all out here with a diarrhea mouth. You can't hold your shit. You can't hold your shit. See, when somebody like me speak, people leave the building. But everybody else's channel, y'all sit there and just, oh my God, y'all just, oh, even though he's wrong, I love him. Smash his like button. Because he's going to say whatever to get you to come in. These people say whatever to get you to come on in the channel. They're going to say whatever. It's almost like voting. They're going to tell you whatever for you to vouch for them. And then as soon as you get in, they doing some bullshit. I had no issue, right? I didn't want Pacquiao coming back. And I damn sure didn't want the Barrios to fight him. I thought that was some bullshit. But guess what? He's back. If they give Pacquiao another shot at somebody, what the hell can we do? What can we do, right? I tell you what we can do. Besides sit on the internet and complain about it. Don't support it. Don't watch it. I told y'all many times before, nobody puts a gun to y'all head and make y'all watch shit. You do it on your own. You know why y'all do it? Because you don't want to miss out on the argument and the conversation. You want to be able to sit there and say, yeah, I saw it. At least you think you saw it. Because some of y'all that come up there and claim you saw it, the shit y'all be talking, I'm like, what fight did you watch? Because none of that never happened. Errol Spence, Tszyu, if it happens, if it don't, I have no beef with it. I think it's great. Who do I see coming out of that? And I like Tszyu. To be honest with you, I am a fan of Tszyu. I became a bigger fan of Tszyu after the first fight with him and Fedora. I didn't too much glance at the second fight. And people say, yeah, yo, he quit on his stool. Okay, well, he wouldn't be the first one to quit on his stool. There was a lot of fighters who quit on their stool. This is why I'd be like, y'all don't know shit. Sonny Liston sat on his stool against Muhammad Ali. Second fight. Did he not? Correct me if I'm wrong. What boxing do y'all be watching? There's going to be a lot of things that's going to happen in boxing that we're not going to like. First fight, it wasn't the second one. It was second one he knocked him out. First fight, okay, first fight. So why are we acting like this shit just started in boxing? There's going to be a lot of things that's going to go on in boxing, ladies and gentlemen, that we're not going to agree with, that we're not going to like. There's a lot of things that's going to happen later this year and the next maybe 2 or 3 years in boxing that we're not going to like. We're not going to like a lot of fights that's going to happen. We're not going to like a lot of fights not happening. We're not going to like a lot of fighters returning. We're not going to like a lot of fighters getting elevated. There's a lot of things we ain't going to like. We're not going to like scorecards. We're not going to like judges. We're not going to like referees. There's a lot of things about this sport that we are going to find ourselves not liking. But what can you do about it besides complain? If any fighter decides to go out there and puts his life on the line knowing that, hey, if I take this fight, this could be my last fight, well, I mean, I could be permanently damaged after this. I don't want to see that. But if that fighter makes that decision, what can we do? Well, you know what? I'm not going to pay for that fight because I don't want to see him go out like that. I don't want to see him brain damaged. I don't want to see it. There's so many different things that you guys can do about the sport of boxing when you're not comfortable with what you're getting. Two things, support or not support. Complaining is not an option. You don't have to do all that. Hey, I'm not paying for that, and that's it. Barrios and Pacquiao, I didn't pay for it. I wasn't paying for it because I didn't give a shit about that. Of course, I wanted to see Fedor and Tszyu, but if I have to pay for it just to see the last fight, I don't want it. I'll catch it on YouTube. But I didn't have to go around from channel to channel complaining about it. Y'all have to control your feelings and y'all mix emotions about how you feel. Just like Tank haters watch him and Shakur haters watch. Exactly. That's a fight that, even right there, of course I want to see that. But you know what, same time, John, I don't give a shit if it don't happen because the thing is this, we have no control of what happens. Yeah, just to find something to pick about. There's a lot of fights I would like to happen in boxing. There's a lot of ones that I crave for. But if we don't get them, that does not change how I feel about the sport of boxing. I just know that, okay, there's certain things that I won't support. It's just certain things I won't support. And I'm fine with it. John, I'll never go around complaining to every YouTube channel, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. They can't, John. They don't know how to. They don't know how to, John. And it's sad. And these are people who will convince you that they've been watching boxing for 30 years. You a 30-year liar. You're a 30-year liar. So you telling me when you've been watching boxing for 30 years, so when Mike Tyson was boxing, you were wearing Timbs and jeans and a jean jacket, and then years later, Tank and Shakur arrived, and now you guys got hooker boots and skirts on with Tank and Shakur posters on your wall? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I'm just going to be one of those content creators that's going to stick to the code. The code is, McLean, you supposed to be like every content creator, and you supposed to stick to the code, and you supposed to say this and say that so you can get a lot of subscribers on your channel. And that's probably why you behind now on 600 some subscribers, because you just be up here saying whatever, and they don't want to hear that. Well, you shit out of luck. This ain't the channel for you. There's a lot of people live today. I suggest you go subscribe to them and go check them out. There's no code I have to stick to. There's no code I have to stick to. Because nobody's in charge of no Doug Zone but me. And there's no code. I'm going to tell you what it is and how I feel, and that's how it is. Errol Spence, Tszyu, if this fight happens, hey, I'm happy for it, man. If we can get Lubin and Ortiz, I'm happy for it. If we don't get it, damn, man, I would have loved to see that. But what can we do? Run the social media and cry about it? Sit on the live for 4 or 5 hours explaining or not explaining, but arguing about why it didn't happen, and this person's a duck, and this person's a duck, and Boots is this, and Virgil is that. Lubin didn't deserve a shot because what has Lubin done lately? This is the behavior of y'all. This is what y'all do. It ain't a bunch of grown men talking. It's a bunch of grown little boys. Oh, are you cool with whatever boxing gives you? Oh, I never said I was cool with whatever they give me. I told you I get to pick and choose what I want to be a part of. So I'm not cool with whatever boxing gives us. But what can we do? If you're not going to be a part of the change, what can we do? What can we do? I'm working on changing a few things, if I can, God willing, in amateur boxing, because I support the amateurs and I'm always around them. And when I could get my foot in the door to really do what it is that I really want to do whenever God bless me with it, instead of me sitting back and complaining about what happens in amateur boxing, I'm going to get in and make some moves. I might not be successful, but it won't hurt to try. I'm not going to sit around and complain about it. Y'all so close to boxing and y'all supposed to be such fans. Well, why don't y'all get deeper into boxing besides just sitting home talking about it? Get deep into it. Be a manager, a promoter. Get deep into it. See, I go to these shows. I talk to managers. I talk to promoters. I talk to them. I actually have conversation with these people. Have some of their phone numbers too. We have to do more than just sit and complain. I got no issue with this fight coming up. I got no issue with a lot of fights coming up. Let me tell you something. I didn't watch the Dillian White fight, even though my man Nova and Raymond Ford was on there and I wanted to see it. I just so happened to miss it because I was tired from my barbecue, but I didn't care nothing about seeing no damn Dillian White. Another guy that can cheat anytime and be allowed to come back anytime. It's crazy. That guy get more opportunities than a person who's went to prison 5 times. I choose not to. And that's what y'all gotta understand. No matter what you want to see, no matter who you want to hear from, if a fighter decides, hey, I'm going to come back, or if I want this fight for myself, what can we do? I like to see these guys make the money that they make and then basically leave the sport. Because, you know, just like they were young one time coming for the older lions, now they're the older ones and the younger ones are coming for them. So I would like to see them get a fight or two. You know, Keith Thurman, Spence, Charlo, all the ones that's at that age up there, you know, in their 30s, even down to Danny. Come back and make some money and then respectfully go enjoy your families. Because in all reality, these so-called fans don't give a shit about none of y'all. They don't care. These fans don't give a goddamn about y'all. Y'all could get half of your brains knocked out your head and they'll sit there and tell y'all it's a part of this, it's part of the game. Nobody told them to be boxers. These so-called fans don't care about y'all fighters. They don't. They don't. You could be wiping your ass with your feet because you can't use your hands. These so-called fans do not care. They don't care. And that's cool. I got no issue with those Spence coming back. None whatsoever. And whoever his opponent may be. If it is Tszyu, I'm happy. I'm cool. If it's not Tszyu, whatever. Y'all gonna watch him. You're gonna pay to see him win. You're gonna pay to see him lose, but you're gonna pay to see him. D Hall. Shout out to my brother D Hall and the People Show, man. And shout outs to Jay York, man. What's going on? Make sure y'all go subscribe to D Hall and the People Show live every Sunday, 4 p.m. So no matter how you feel about a fighter, some of y'all are gonna go pay for that fighter or go watch him anyway, no matter who he's fighting. So what is the complaining about? Well, I don't think he should fight him. Well, nobody gives a shit about what y'all think. Y'all ain't managers. Y'all ain't promoters. Y'all are barely fans. Who do y'all to say who a fighter should fight? I mean, yeah, you can say it, but some of y'all strongly believe in what you say. Y'all ain't no damn managers. Y'all ain't agents. You're not promoters. Y'all don't know nothing. And these are the people that we have to, I said before, these are the people that y'all got to stop sending the link to, stop letting them come on their channels to run their mouth about shit that they don't know about. And the more y'all keep entertaining them by letting them on, they're going to keep doing it. They looking for a place for some attention. And those are the kind of people I don't want over here. That's why the block button is always on standby. I don't time people out. I block them. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, 2 people left. I know. People going to talk no matter what. Yeah. And it's sad. They can't be pleased, D-Hall. They just can't be pleased. I got no issue with Errol coming back. I got no issue with no fighter coming back. Yeah, I felt bad for Pacquiao only because of what he went through with Ugas. Not because I'm not a fan of Pacquiao. It's because I didn't want to see that man come back damn near 50 and he get in there. What if Barrios would have punched the 46 out of him? That's what I was thinking about. But y'all don't care. That's not your job to care. Oh, because I didn't tell them to box. They box because they wanted to. So if somebody dies, they just die. That's how I feel like some of y'all carry your attitude. This is boxing. As if y'all know, as if you've been in the ring before. Y'all don't know what that shit feels like. I've sparred, and that shit hurt, and that's just sparring. I've got hit to the body where it damn near made me boo-boo. Go down the list of different people that in 154, and whoever Earl is in there with, I'm happy to see the brother come back. If the brother has all his senses, you know, he's a father, he has daughters. I want to see him come back, and if he comes back just for one payday, or if he comes back for 2 or 3 fights and he just goes, I'm gone, I'm fine with it. A lot of times y'all blow a lot of this shit out of proportion when it don't need to be. It is not that serious, bruh. It's not. I don't care if y'all want to listen to me or not, man. I really don't give a shit. I'm going to just keep it 100 with you. It is not that serious. Y'all got to chill. If what goes on in boxing bother y'all that much, y'all need to start doing something about it. Talk to some promoters and managers and see how you can get in, and maybe you could be the change of it. Well, I don't want to do that. All right, then shut the fuck up then. If you don't want to be a part of the change, shut the fuck up. Shut up. Because other than that, nothing is going to change in the sport of boxing because y'all are complaining about it. Nothing's going to change. Smash my like button, y'all. Good afternoon. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate y'all too, man. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Love y'all. If you new, subscribe to the channel. Pass the word down. We real over here. No duck zone over here. We ain't ducking nothing. We ain't ducking no topics. We ain't ducking no situations. So when I see stuff like that, we focus so much on what fighters have to say, and we let it affect how we think, and then we take it and we get emotional about it. And I go, well, sometimes these fighters know exactly what they're doing, when they do it, and when they saying stuff, they know exactly what they're saying, whether we agree with it or not. But then I look at it and I go, well, we treat ourselves the same way. So what's the difference? But we don't see nothing wrong with that. If you don't control how you feel, or get some type of grip of how you feel about what goes on in the sport of boxing, rather it's Turkey Al Sheik, rather if it's Jake Paul, Eddie Hearn, or whoever, if you don't get a grip of that and control your emotions, y'all will just be out here just crashing out. These people don't give a damn about you. They gonna make their money regardless. We just a bunch of people who sit on YouTube and talk about boxing. These people are established. They're established already. They don't give a shit about what we think. Even though once in a while you'll hear them say, yeah, fans want to see this, the fans want to see that. But no, in reality, they don't give a shit. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. How many of us is craving for Tinker Shakur? How many of y'all craving and slobbing for it? You can crave all you want. As of right now, y'all gonna starve. Canelo Benavidez, how many you want to see it? You're not. I've noticed a lot of emotional when it comes to boots and tandem. Yeah, it is. It is, Trax. It is. It's a lot of it. And it's a lot of it. And you know, the problem is this. It's nothing wrong with us liking who we like. Everybody's supposed to like who they like. But when we're on here and we can't have a rational conversation about it without somebody getting emotional or telling you who it is that you should like, or why do you like that guy? You get criticized for liking somebody. Now you have to go out your way to explain why you like that fighter. And I don't think that's right, because everybody has a right to like who they like. When you listen to rap music or any kind of music, we all don't like the same rapper. When you're going out to eat, we all don't like the same food. We have a right to like different things from what the other person likes. I don't have to go out my way to explain to you why I like hamburgers and French fries. The fuck I look like. I don't have to explain to you why I like listening to the Temptations more than I like listening to any other group today. I don't have to explain that to you. Yes, 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 exactly. Tracks. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's that. It's business. To me, sometimes the business is a little foul, but it's business. What can we do? Sometimes you have to understand that. So if something bothers y'all, why don't y'all stop complaining about it and be involved in boxing more? And I don't mean from the content creator side. Be involved in boxing more. Maybe I need to become a manager, or maybe a promoter, or maybe I need to do something where I can get in and, hey, maybe I can understand it more instead of me just sitting home from my house complaining about it. Getting into all these silly ass debates about something that y'all don't even know what you're talking about. Yo, yes, or let's debate about it. Or send me the link. That's your favorite. Send me the link. Send you the link so you can come up there and get your ass embarrassed. Don't ask me to send you no link here, because we don't send links here to people we don't know. This ain't a send a link channel. That's the game of your favorite fighter. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. For the money. And they let you know. Anytime somebody can get offered 11 million and then say that's not enough, that shit's crazy. Because coming where I'm coming from, if you offer me $1 million, it's on and popping. 11 million? Shh. Come on now. This boxing game is not really hard to figure out if you're paying attention. You start to see what makes sense and what don't make sense. That's why when I don't understand something, I can always pick up a phone, and I got some legit people that I could talk to that's in the boxing game and has been in the game that could explain stuff to me that I might be a little confused on, versus me going up here to one of these channels, listening to some of you people that never even walked into a damn gym, let alone walk by one. And y'all think that I'm going to get into a debate with y'all? Who do I look like? Boo Boo the Fool? Okay, so what? Earl Spence wants to come back and make money. Let him. Pacquiao did. Let him make money. Maybe it ain't about the money. Maybe it's about him just wanting to come back. And I have no beef with that. I have no issue with that. But some of y'all treat the sport of boxing like that girl that y'all always wanted to get with. And if she ain't giving you no damn attention, you're feeling some kind of way about it. That's what y'all act like. It is not that serious. If you're upset now, in the next 6 months to the next 3 years, you're going to really be pissed because there's just going to be a lot of things in boxing that's probably not going to happen the way y'all think is going to happen. And guess what? You same idiots in 2025 that was arguing in 2022 and during COVID in 2019 will be the same idiots 2-3 years from now doing the same damn thing. And still haven't attended a fight yet. Ain't got no receipt to show y'all been to a fight. Not one. And you guys are the ones that we supposed to get our resources from? Are you freaking kidding me? Y'all got to start making it make sense. Something don't sit right with you with the sport of boxing. There's a fight you don't agree with. Fine. You cannot agree with it, but that doesn't mean everybody else disagrees with it. Oh, I'm not watching it. Don't try to encourage everybody to not watch what you ain't watching. I never try to encourage anybody to not watch what I'm watching. Somebody will close. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Sean. I don't know, Sean. That's whew. Well, you know what? I wouldn't fight him neither. Well, no, yeah, somebody got to grow a pair of balls to fight him. I don't know. But you know what the problem is, Sean? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you what the problem is. What I was just talking. Smash that like button too, y'all. A lot of times too, these so-called fans and people that I was just talking about, they encourage fighters like that to not get the fights they want because the first thing they'll say is, man, I don't want my fighter fighting that guy. What do you mean your fighter? You're not no fucking promoter. You're not an agent. You're not a manager. That's the problem. It ain't just these fighters that we could blame. Sometimes these so-called fans, I don't want my guy fighting them. That your guy, that ain't your guy. You been to a training camp with him? Have you been to the hospital with him? Have you ate at his house? It's not your guy. We always say we want to see the best fight the best, but really what we want to do is we want our fighters to keep winning easy so they can keep staying undefeated. Because when it's time for your guy to fight the best, now the question becomes is why he got to fight him? Why he got to fight him? That's foul. He shouldn't have to fight him. Why not? You just said you want the best versus the best. Yeah, but what has that guy done to get a title shot? Here we go with the dumb shit. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We start criticizing them and questioning him. But you just sat here and said you wanted your guy, the one you act like you manage, the one you act like you promote. You just said you want him in there with the best. See, a lot of y'all, I listen to a lot of y'all. I try not to criticize or judge, but sometimes I sit back when I'm alone and I'm not on my phone and I sit and I think sometimes and I mix up a lot of what y'all say and I put it all in my head and I go, none of the shit half of the time makes sense. Because nobody tries to make sense. Everybody just is arguing about why something is happening and why it's not happening. Me, on the other hand, I think a little different from y'all. And I go, well, hey, they gave it to him. What can we do? If this fight is happening, what can we do? If they, give me 1 second, y'all. Yeah, y'all. Um, that's how I think. Because there's certain things I refuse to let upset me. Here in the UK, the fights sell out in stadiums with over 9,000. It's the crossover fighters here that do it. Joshua. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, you know, in the UK, it's you know, you guys are different over there because let me tell you something. You know, people could feel how they feel about y'all and whatever, but to be honest with you, one thing I can say about y'all, you are true boxing fans, not just in the UK. When you guys come to America, you guys will travel all the way from where you at to America, rather if it's Vegas or New York, to see your guy win or lose. Um, well, I think Boots. You'll probably see Boots. You won't see Tank or Canelo, but you'll probably see Boots over there. I'm sure Eddie's working on something for him. Tank, I don't think Tank has traveled overseas since I think he was probably at 130. Who was the guy that he beat? He beat this guy at 130, I believe. Trying to think of who the hell was it. It wasn't 126. It was 130. I forgot the guy he beat. I got to look it up. I'm gonna come back and talk about that too. But you'll probably see Boots overseas before you see him. Yeah, Ricky Hatton was crazy. That was ridiculous. First of all, the chance for Ricky Hatton was bananas. He might as well have been in UK because the chance for him was crazy. And I remember when he fought Floyd. I remember watching that fight. There's only one Ricky Hatton. I said that this is crazy. Walking along, singing a song. There's only one Ricky Hatton. I said, this is crazy. That was crazy. Just the atmosphere for Ricky Hatton and Floyd was crazy. But the response that Ricky Hatton was getting was just, I think, is probably one of the best response that I have ever seen. Um, yeah, hands down, probably one of the best. But yeah, y'all, listen, boxing's gonna be what it's gonna be, y'all. If you're a content man, first time tuning into a live chat, honest question: where are the schools for American heavyweights going? I mean, the guys from the '60s to the '90s. What's the deal? Um, I think there's a lot of skilled heavyweights out there. I think Sean, a lot of them don't get the opportunity. Um, some do get the opportunity and they might blow it. I think there's a few heavyweights out there, and I think as the time go on, we're going to see them. As far as here in America, there's some out there. Um, the problem, the problem is with boxing and not just heavyweights. The problem with boxing is everybody wants to be that guy, but everybody doesn't want to do what they have to do to become that guy. Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely support amateur boxing. I talk to a lot of amateurs out here in New York, so that's my lane really. I really talk to more amateurs than I talk to pros, because they're the future. But yeah, everybody wants to be that guy in boxing, but everybody's not willing to take the steps, the hard work, the 6 to 8 weeks in camp. Everybody wants to be the man. Everybody wants the money. They want the cars. They want the jewelry. They want the houses. They want the women. They want all this, and a lot of them are just not willing to put in that work. I think there's a lot of skilled heavyweights in here in America. It's just some, we just don't know about a lot of them, man. A lot of them are being held for whatever reason, or it's not their time yet. But slowly they're starting to come out. So hopefully we'll see as the time goes on. Every era is different, and this for the last couple of years, boxing has just been different. It's just been different. You're going to see an amateur team similar to 1984. I don't know, Trax. I hope so. I don't know if it'll be just as good as '84. I think believe '84 had Pernell Whitaker. If that's the team, Pernell Whitaker, Holyfield, and it was somebody else. If that's the team for '84, I don't know if we can ever see a team like that. Jesus Christ, that's like asking to see a dream team in '92 with Michael Jordan in them. I don't know. That's oof. That's a hard one. Oh yeah, I hope so, Trax. I hope we do see something like that in the future. I hope so. We got the Olympics coming in 2028, and in Los Angeles. I'm hoping to make that. I would love to go to California for the 2028 Olympics. I'm hoping to be able to make that. So that's one of my dreams. I've never been. Yeah, it is the Olympics. It's not the Nationals. It's the Olympics for 2028 in Los Angeles. I'm hoping. I pray to God that I can make that. But back to this whole Earl situation, and and Tim. We're gonna sit back and see what happens. Michael Nunn and yeah, they never made the team. Yeah, that you know what? If they would have made the team, Jesus Christ, would have been different. Shout out to Michael Nunn too, and Iron Mike. Um, you gave me something to talk about on my Throwback Thursday too, tracks. I might come back here Throwback Thursday and talk about Michael Nunn. Thank you. You just gave me because every Thursday I'll be looking for somebody to talk about. I might come back here Thursday. I do Throwback Thursdays too. So anybody who's new to the channel, every Thursday is Throwback Thursday. I didn't do it last week. Um, I forgot what I was in the middle of, but I will be getting back to it this week. So Michael Nunn might be the topic this week. We're gonna do that not in the morning, but in the afternoon. So might be around the same time, 6:15. So just be on the lookout for it. If y'all subscribe to the channel, I'll put it out so y'all can see. Yes, he was. He was definitely was. He was definitely something special. But the Earl Spence, so nobody won't get it twisted. The Earl Spence and Tim Tszyu has not been made. But I'm asking people what were their thoughts on it? Because people will go, they're not fighting. They're not fighting. Never said they were. But it's talks because Tim Tszyu is interested. So if y'all were reading, y'all would know that Tim Tszyu is interested. So we're gonna sit back and just see how it plays out. And if it just so happens to play out that way, does that fight happen where Tim Tszyu's from in Australia, or does that fight happen in Dallas, Texas, where Earl Spence is from, or does that fight go to Vegas? Hell, does the fight come to New York? I mean, Tim Tszyu is a guy that'll go anywhere. He's not a guy that's really too picky about where a fight is at. He just wants to be in the fight. I don't think Earl Spence really cares. He just wants to prove, hey, I got something left in me. So I think that would be great to see him come back to make that kind of comeback. What do we got on here? I got 6 minutes left on here. Okay, I'm gonna try to get an hour in. I was just about to get off, but I'm gonna give it to 7:16 since I started at 6:16. So we could expect that, right? I'm just asking everybody to be a little more patient when it comes to the sport of boxing. Because there's going to be some things you're going to hear and read about that I'm telling you that, how the hell did this guy get elevated to this? How did this guy get elevated to that? Hey, I could tell you shit just happened. Spence first would be a good one. A business decision, though. Pay-per-view, sales, venue, important date. Yeah, yeah. And let me tell you, people will pay for it. What's going on? Is that what's going on, my guy? Hold on. Gotta I gotta wrench you up, man. Give me 1 second, guys. Don't go nowhere. Give me just 1 minute. Yeah. Appreciate you, Brown. Tim's. Sorry, I had to grab my doggone charger. Just Spark, I see you. Tim's, Fedora, and good comeback. Yeah, man. Yeah, I have no. Listen, man. I ain't got no issue with none of that, man. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I don't. Hey, Brown, stay right there. I gotta wrench you up. Stay right there. I need to charge my other phone. Don't go nowhere. I have no problem with none of that, man. And at the end of the day, whenever I do have a problem, I could be a guy that sit there and say I ain't got to order none of them fights. That's the type of person I am. I can easily tell you, oh, I'm not gonna watch none of that. It's just that it's just that simple. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to I don't have to go out my way for all that. So you know what I mean? With me, I handle things a little different from the way y'all do. Because like I said, y'all will find any reason, any and every reason, to have an issue with something. And that's not what I'm doing. Excuse me, if I sound far away, I just moved from my phone. Y'all gotta give me a second. But I'm still talking to y'all. Tim Tszyu, Tim Tszyu and Tim Tszyu and Errol would be great. It'll be magical. It'll be one for the ages. And people are going to come out to see it. People are going to come out to see it. They're going to do it. At 54, they're going to do it. And can you imagine what a Tim Tszyu and Errol Spence undercard would look like? You might have somebody making a return on that card that you'd be like, damn, I forgot about him. It'll be a great card. Rather if it's in America or not. Yes, that would be a fight I would love to attend to. But if it ain't in America, it's not going to change about how I feel about the fight. If it's in Australia, I know, okay, this fight's going to be on early. I got to be home. I got to be home. It's going to be great. That's what makes me love boxing a little different from y'all. That's what makes me love it different. Y'all use boxing for complaining, not for being a fan, but you use it to complain because everything will go your way until it don't go your way. Now, how do you explain that? Brown, hold on. I'm about to rinse you up, man. That's why I sound far away. Just give me a second. So we got to start making a lot of it. We have to start making a lot of it make sense. And me, I don't tell people, I'm just not the guy to tell people how they should feel about the sport. But at the same time, a lot of our feelings are getting the best of us. And we don't want that. We don't need that. For the real fans in boxing, we don't need that. Yeah. Brown, I'm glad you're still there. Give me a second, Brown. I'm working on you right now. Working on you right now. My phone is just giving me a little hell, y'all. I apologize. You think we'll see big fish some time before? Well, anything can happen. I don't think we see him. I mean, we could see him in Tim Tszyu. I don't know. I don't know. But if we can, the only thing that could stop Tim Tszyu, let's just say, and I know he's not the only opponent, but let's just say if we don't see Tim Tszyu, if we don't see Tszyu and Errol 9 times out of 10, money might have stopped it. Money might have stopped it because I don't see Tszyu backing down from nothing, and I don't see Errol Spence backing down from nothing. You know, a lot of times in boxing, you got both sides that can't come to an agreement. So that's the best thing that I could think of. But I'm hoping we can. I'm hoping we can see him. BBO, what up? Imagine the next 3 fights with Spence in New York. Well, Ash Stadium will be over because that's an outdoor. But if Barclay, I mean, yeah, man, Barclay, you know, he's no stranger to the Barclays. So, you know, we would love to see him come back. Just wondering what thought him versus any of the names you mentioned. Um, you know, I think the problem that we have in boxing too, and I think I mentioned this before, and I'm guilty of this, is that I get mad when I see guys leave the sport and be going 2-3 years. All of a sudden they come back and they didn't jump the line. And then I go, how the hell does he get a shot at him when he been gone for 3 years? You know, even though you're gone for 3 years, you know, you that guy that can still put asses in seats. So, you know, all the guys I've mentioned besides Tszyu can all be great for him. But for some reason, the Tszyu fight sits well with me. It sits very well with me, and I would love to see it. And you know, and if it doesn't happen, like I said, I'm not upset about it. I'm really not upset about it because there's a lot of reasons why it probably wouldn't have happened. There's a lot of reasons. All right, Brown, I'm about to rinse you up. Just give me a second. Doing it for my phone. Yeah, but there's could be there could be a bus load. BBO, I see you. Okay, here we go. So yeah, hold on. What do you say? Oh yeah, Kell Brook. Yeah, I remember that. That's when I think I first saw. I think that's the first time I saw Errol Spence. Yeah, I think that might have been the first time I seen Errol Spence and Kell Brook. And then the next time I seen Kell Brook, he was getting his ass whipped by Triple G. So yeah, whew. Yeah. I remember watching that one. But we'll sit back and see how everything plays out, man. We have the rest of this year. Like I said, we have Devin Haney and all of them at the end of the year in November 22nd. You know, we still have something coming up. Danny Garcia possibly making a return October 18th. A lot of y'all don't want to see it, but you listen. Remember what I said. There's a lot of fighters that you're going to see get ready to make a comeback, rather if you want to see them or not. But just because they're coming back, that does not mean you have to watch them. You have a choice. So if you choose not to watch them, you should choose not to complain about them because there's nothing to talk about when somebody says, what's your thoughts on Errol Spence coming back? And if you feel like there's no thoughts on it, it ain't worth talking about, then leave it at that. But you ain't got to go out your way to bash the man or any other fighter. Not just Errol, but any other fighter at that. It doesn't make you look good. Because when it happens to your favorite fighter, you're going to feel some kind of way, and then you'll be up here cursing each other out because y'all act like y'all really know these fighters and you don't. You can't even get an interview with them. You'll be lucky if they even stop to say hi to you or shake your hand. That's probably the most you'll get. So let's not get caught up in our feelings so much with this, fellas. Let's enjoy this boxing. Most important, let's enjoy what we do. God has blessed us with a platform and an opportunity to do something great that can not only change our lives, but our families. And maybe we can change others somewhere down the line. God bless y'all. I love y'all. That's my whole thoughts on this Tszyu and Errol Spence. I have nothing extra to say. I can't break down the fight. All that doesn't matter to me. Oh, come on, Brown. You know you my guy. I can't break it down because I'm not a breakdown guy. All I know is that I want to see a good fight. So God bless everybody. Get home safe. Love y'all. I'll be back tomorrow with the morning chop ups. If you've never been a part of the morning chop ups, we don't talk boxing on the morning chop ups. We talk reality about real life. So if anybody's interested in that, you're more than welcome. And if you're not, hey, God bless you. Love you anyway. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Y'all know what it is. It's the No Duck Zone podcast. Let's go. And we'll be live at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. we'll be live. Love y'all. Be safe.